Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Anguirus. For those who don't know what Anguirus is, he's a titan, basically kind of like Godzilla's, how should I put the sidekick? He hasn't been in the recent movies like Godzilla -1 or Godzilla X Kong, but so today, yeah, let's just keep like that. Today we're going to be talking about why and who is Anguirus and why is he not in many movies anymore. Because the last time that we saw him was in 2021 in Godzilla Singapore. So grab some popcorn, make sure to like this video and subscribe. And welcome back to another week to Kaiju King podcast. Okay, let's start. Anguirus was one of the earliest kaiju to appear along with Godzilla. Of course, was a prominent figure in the Godzilla franchise during the Showa era. His first appearance was in the Godzilla Raising in 1955, marked his role as Godzilla's first true rival, making himself a key figure in the kaiju genre. However, despite his notable debate, not bad. I'm reading this because I typed it all down, so that's why. Anguirus' subsequent appearances were made sporadic, and his impact on the series became overshadowed by other kaiju. Over time, as the Godzilla franchise evolved, Anguirus was pushed to the background with newer and more popular monsters still in the spotlight. Basically, more kaijus came into the movies, and all of a sudden Anguirus was kind of like taken out. He was kind of kicked out at this point. So now let's start on paragraph number 2. One reason for Anguirus' relative obscurity in later films is his lack of distinctiveness compared to other iconic monsters in the franchise. While Godzilla's nuclear origins and status as a metaphor for post-war fears gave him a unique place in popular culture, Anguirus lacked a clear thematic role or strong narrative identity. His design, while distinct, did not offer the same degree of intrigue or depth as newer monsters with more elaborate backstories like King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Mechagodzilla were introduced. Anguirus' more straightforward nature as a spiky reptilian creature with no specific origin story caused him to fade in the background. Basically, we all know Mothra's and King Ghidorah's and Mechagodzilla's backstory, right? King Ghidorah came from a different planet. He's an alien. Mothra, she was born as a moth, gigantic, super-sized moth. And then we have Mechagodzilla, who was created to actually kill Godzilla. So we know that, right? But then if you look at Anguirus, all he is like a built different Ankylosaurus. For those who don't know what Ankylosaurus is, it's almost like a dinosaur. It actually is a dinosaur, but with spikes on its back. So that's basically what Anguirus is, and Anguirus did not have any backstory to talk about. So that's what made him fade. So now it's on paragraph 3. Additionally, the changing tone of the Godzilla films contributed to Anguirus' forgetfulness. In the early days of the franchise, kaiju films often had a darker, more serious tone, with monsters representing forces of destruction and chaos. As the series progressed, especially in the 1960s and 1970s, the Godzilla films began to adopt a more child-friendly, campy style, with monsters often engaging in light-hearted battles for the sake of entertainment. Anguirus, who was originally portrayed as a fierce and determined foe, didn't fit as neatly into this new lighter atmosphere, and as a result was gradually phased out in favor of more remarkable characters that could cater to a younger audience. So, like Showa Godzilla, it's pretty much goofy. I mean, not the 2020 drop pick, but I'm coming from. See Godzilla and Jack Wild shaking hands with each other to defeat other boss. We got it's just goofy, a little more goofy. So it's built for a younger audience. That's why you saw Manila talking to a kid. For those who don't know, Manila's Godzilla's son, an ugly son too. Now on paragraph 4, the rise of merchandise-driven culture also played a role in Anguirus' obscurity. As Godzilla became more of a global brand, the franchise sought to capitalize on new and innovative designs for toys and merchandise. Characters like Godzilla, Godzilla, and King Ghidorah were easier to sell due to the memorial designs and more marketable traits. Anguirus, with this relatively simple, we gotta mark that word, simple, spiky appearance and lack of distinct visual gimmicks, it did not possess the same appeal for toy manufacturers. This lack of merchandise opportunities further diminished his presence in the public eye, ensuring that newer, more exciting kaiju took center stage. Once again, putting Anguirus out on the street, Anguirus hit the road. Now the other new titans are gonna be coming in. Lastly, for that whole time, 5 paragraph thing, the gap between Anguirus' appearances also played a role in his fading into obscurity after his role in Destroy All Monsters 1968. Anguirus' next significant appearance was not until Godzilla Final Wars 2004, nearly 40 years later. By this point, the franchise had undergone numerous changes, and the fan base interest had shifted into the newer Godzilla films, which often featured more elaborate plots and updated special effects. Anguirus' sudden reappearance in Final Wars was met with mixed reactions, and though it was a nostalgic nod to longtime fans, it lacked the impact needed to reinvigorate his popularity in the broader franchise. In short, Anguirus' infrequent appearances, coupled with the evolving nature of the Godzilla films, meant that the once promised kaiju that was ultimately forgotten by most casual fans. Now, of course, he got a comeback in 2021 and in 2014. When I say 2014, I'm basically saying he's dead in 2014. The Titan got old. He died of old age. Crazy, right? But then, I guess you could say that I saw that. I don't know. I'm just gonna say a theme that we got Anguirus, but a baby Anguirus in Singular Point 2021. So we don't really know what happened. This does not make no sense. Why would Anguirus be the size of humans? We don't know yet, but we will find out in the next podcast that we do. Okay, now let's talk about limited appearances. Anguirus' first appeared in Godzilla Raids Again in 1955, like I said, the second film in the Godzilla series. He was portrayed as a secondary monster and was mostly overshadowed by Godzilla's dominion. After his initial appearance, he only had a few appearances in the franchise, and those were often in supporting roles as other iconic monsters like Martha and once again King Ghidorah became more essential to the series. Anguirus took a backseat. Characters, designs, and abilities like Anguirus is a spiky ankylosaur-like creature with less flashy and marketable abilities compared to other kaijus. So King Ghidorah, he has I'm just gonna say atomic breath, but look at it. I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna just say atomic breath. Mothra, she can shoot webs. And more like what else? Rodan. Actually, Rodan does not have a power. He does not. Nope, never. So that answers the question. So while Godzilla had atomic breath and King Ghidorah had 3 heads, Anguirus was often portrayed as more of a physical brawler, which made him less distinctive compared to other monsters with more unique powers or characteristics. So basically, he wasn't that much special. I mean, hey, this is how Anguirus went. Mommy, do you think I'm special? Sally, we're not special, kid. We're not special at all. So that's basically what happened. Changing trends in the franchise as the Godzilla franchise evolved, especially in the 1960s and 1970s, the series began introducing more visually dramatic and memorable monsters, such as Godzilla and Ghidorah. Anguirus' more grounded, less visually striking design might have led him to being overshadowed by newer, more elaborate creations. Shifting the narrative over time, Godzilla movies became more focused on Godzilla's development as a character and his battles against larger-than-life threats. As such, secondary monsters like Anguirus were either not included or given smaller roles, further diminishing his presence in the film. So, it's kind of like Behemoth. I mean, you feel like a Behemoth, all he does is take care of the earth. Does his job, never wants to fight anybody. I mean, he lost the battle real quick to Amulek, I don't know what it is. So that's one way to say, that's another example. If you look at it, Anguirus, it's kind of the same thing. He was secondary monster, had smaller roles, so that's why Anguirus got overshadowed. However, Anguirus was not entirely forgotten. He still has a loyal fan base and continues to make occasional appearances in video games, comics, and other media within the Godzilla franchise. His legacy as one of the Godzilla original allies and adversaries keeps him relevant to longtime fans, even if he's not as prominent in the mainstream media as other kaiju. Until it made a comeback in Godzilla 2021 singular point. Now, thank you guys for watching. If there's another kaiju that you would like to if there's another kaiju that you'd like me to talk about, please comment down below so I can do it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys had a fun time watching. Listening. You're gonna be watching me playing this Anguirus. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.